going on, Fizz Nation? Dan Papillo here, and tomorrow night, Syracuse hosts Stanford at the JMA Wireless Dome for the first time ever between these two programs. And there's a lot of storylines to talk about that I think that we should get into. A very interesting one off the jump is that this is the first game for Syracuse against a California team since 2012. Number 2 USC came to town, and it was not a good showing for the Orange. They lost 42-29. Ryan Nassib was even at the helm for the Orange at the time. But you know what's particularly interesting is that Syracuse is 7-7 all-time against California programs. They have a lot of success against teams like UCLA, but have really struggled against teams like USC. So it'll be very interesting to see what adding Stanford to the mix, see how they'll break the tie on that front. Moving off of that, I think it's very interesting that this is the first game against a California team, and it's going to be, Syracuse is going to have to make trips over to the West Coast at least once a year now with the new conference realignment, and head coach Fran Brown has really been talking about how that's going to help them in the recruiting front, being able to talk to guys on the West Coast and make them feel at home, knowing that they're going to go over there to their home state or home region at least once a year. So another thing that's particularly interesting about that, but then moving off of that, Kyle McCord has been significantly better this year. 700 yards passing, over 8 touchdowns. He has been lighting it up, and expect him to perform really well against a Cardinal team that allows over 275 yards per game in the air. Finally, Syracuse coming off of a bye week. Syracuse, under Dino Babers, 4-9 in bye weeks, 1-4 in the last 5 years, something that Fran Brown is certainly going to have to fix up if he wants his team to come out firing and get a big win over Stanford this week. So that's what I got to say, and as always, go Orange.